That's not bad at all. Hey guys, how you doing today? Okay, great. So we're on good levels. Ooh, trippy.
Sir, I need to ask you to sit down and buckle up. The flight is still not over. You see the seatbelt sign is up.
Hello again, everybody. Hi, how you doing? It is your friend, it's Jose and Aaron, also known as Raging Games and artist formerly known as Mavs, FKA, also known as AKA Share Lucky Nez, AKA Share Snorlax, whatever you want to call him. We're here. He's queer. Get used to it, guys. It's gonna be a fun trip.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's still Pride Month, so I feel like we can just include that. Why not? But it's been a hell of a week. What's new with you, man? Since we've been here last.
Nothing much, nothing much. Been a pretty slow week.
It has been a kind of a very slow week. I just been stuck at work. Nothing interesting's happening around town, but there's been other interesting stuff happening around the world. Uh, like what was the first thing we wanted to touch on? The Tour de France. Yes, the Tour de France
Uh,
crash. so that
all because one person.
So there was a protest apparently. I didn't even know it was a protest. I thought it was just a dude holding a sign. A protest. Oh no, there's a protest after the spectator crash. Oh okay, there's been a protest in response to this. Tour de France bikers paused for a symbolic protest after days of the brutal crash, including one caused by a spectator. Wait, of brutal crashes. There's been multiple crashes, so not just one. Oh, I see the spectator now. Okay, guys, this okay, we can see why this is a problem. If we look to your screen, you'll see that the dude is just holding up a sign in front of them. Let's see, I can.
To be fair, they have no like guardrail or protection between the riders and the people.
Right? But it is kind of funny. Look at this. Look at this where this guy's standing. He's just standing right in front of these other guys. Like, look at where the sign is. The Tour de France is one of the biggest.
Moments before disaster.
A picture tells a thousand words, and this one tells me that they're all about to die. Is the first three words to say. The Tour de France is one of the biggest events. Yada yada yada. World-round sporting events, but in 2021, opening stages have shown it's a tremendously perilous one. After days of alarming crashes, they just said, fuck it. They're just protesting the hazardous conditions. The spill started Saturday on the tour's very first day when 2 crashes caused over 21 injuries. Oh my God. The first of the 2 incidents have itself become an international news story. The camera keen spectator obviously holding a sign on the narrow cycling path caused one of the riders to lose balance and fall. The chaotic pileup ensued, and one of the damaged cyclists was forced to leave the tour altogether. Ooh. My wife did not want to see my son on a bike. Mark Medi, a former champion cyclist and manager of the Groupama FDJ team, said Saturday's 2 crashes. It's been years, and we're talking about safety. We need to find solutions. It's not bike racing anymore. One day there will be dead people. He's getting
Sorry about that.
He's getting very dramatic.
And very vague. But yes, someday there will be dead people.
Someday there will be dead people. You shall see. You shall all see. Tour de France's deputy director.
I'm pretty sure statistically there's somebody dead every day.
Paris Yves told AFP that the organization would sue the woman who inadvertently caused the crash. The only issue, she fled from the scene and is still at large. So we don't know
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? She's causing crashes at Tour de France. Don't actually look for her, Google. Google picked that up and started looking for Carmen Sandiego.
There was somebody made a comment there like, what if this is not her first time causing a crash? What if she's a super villain? And if you look throughout time, any major incident in like a sporting event, it was her.
So not just in our lifetime, but all of her time. She has a time machine.
Yeah.
She's dedicated to cause these apocalyptic events at sporting events. Not like her incident was the reason why the Mayans lost. Her incident was the reason why they started rioting at the Colosseum in Rome. Her incident is why Mexico lost again in the World Cup against France. That bitch. I'm taking this personal. I'm taking this personal now.
Yeah, sounds a bit, but probably we can blame that on her as well.
How did the crash happen? So the report says the pileup happened on Saturday, the opening day of the Tour de France. This year's tour runs from Brest in northern France to Paris, 2,121 mile, 3,414 kilometer race over 21 days. Day 1 had the athletes cycling from Brest to Lannoy in a 123-mile course. Midway through the race, however, a disaster struck. An enthusiastic spectator, keen to show her sign to a nearby camera, she really needed to show her sign, rushed near the track and extended her sign out. Her back was towards the cyclist, and as such didn't notice their rapid approach. Her cardboard sign knocked Germany cyclist Tony Martin off balance slightly because of how tightly all the bikers were packed up in this narrow track. It was enough to send him falling. An insane pileup ensued. The spectator signs, "Go, Grandpa and Grandma!" in German and French, I believe.
Has crashed, pretty much.
Well,
there's only a very few.
Oh God! Look at him go!
Made it through at the front of that bunch without getting caught up in the crash. It happened on the right-hand side of the road. Yes, it looked like Tony Martin caught.
Oh my God!
A sign
held by a spectator, and the crash
There
went
it is.
all the way across the road.
Everyone
Oh, fuck!
Pretty much in the ditch is Wout van Aert. Julian Alaphilippe did.
Ooh, that looks
He's
nasty.
one of the only riders.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of people had got injured, and
fan at the side of the road, trying to hold a sign out for the camera.
there's possibility that maybe a couple of them maybe
shouldn't have been
like
there in the first
pretty much
place.
the end of their career.
And I said a few.
Look at these guys. So let's take a look at it again. We're looking at it like now in silent. Gee, look at the top view. So they just all had to stop because a bunch of them. Look how many are just on the floor now, and also they ran into like the people too because they're all just around. Dumbass! Look at her face, like oh, and it was like get the fuck out of the way, get the fuck out the way. That bike just over there just go fly. Is just flying? You see a bike go flying upside down?
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, the Tour de France, that got nasty. It said that quite a few people were injured over the two crashes on the opening day. There was 21 injuries between both of them. The pileup caused by the sign holding spectacle caused 9 of those injuries. So the other accident actually caused more injuries. We had everything under control until the crash, Martin said via press release. It all happened very quickly. Suddenly, almost the entire team was on the ground. Many spectators behaved respectfully, but unfortunately, not this one. Martin was able to finish the race, but the same couldn't be said for German athlete Joshua Sütterlin. After suffering a large hematoma, Sütterlin was forced out of the tour after being unable to continue in the race. Ooh, it looked like a war zone. Gobert Vessier, a surgeon working for the Tour de France, told the French publication L'Equipe, the same chaos, the same moans, bodies everywhere. There are tangled machines all over the place. What's the reaction been? Social media reactions have ranged from remarking on a horrible crash to mocking or sympathizing with the spectators to wondering how this even is possible. So, a bunch of tweets. The sign-holding woman not being investigated for endangering public safety. Reports German publication DW. Local police called the witness to come forward to help identify the woman. So she was wearing like a hat, glasses. So you couldn't really see her face. She was not wearing a mask though. So the viewers causing this incident left the scene before investigators arrived. Police said on Saturday night via the Facebook post. She was wearing glasses and dressed in blue jeans, red and white striped sweater, and a yellow jacket, a wax yellow jacket. She's holding the signs supporting descriptions. We are suing this woman who behaved so badly.
Right.
Pierre Vest said, vice president of the Tour de France, told the AFP, we are doing that so the teeny minority of people who do this don't spoil the show for everyone. That's hilarious. Yeah, the best part of this story is that she's still on the run. Like, they have not found her.
Has crashed. Pretty much.
Is this the origin story for Carmen Sandiego?
By a spectator.
Stay
in the crash
tuned.
went
Yeah, you can't really tell. She's wearing like a billed hat. You can't really see her face really well. But she's just standing there.
crash went
And he hits like,
all the way across the
oh,
road.
fuck.
Everyone.
Yep, that's Carmen Sandiego, right? She's causing accidents left and right. And other sports news, let's see. I think I had some other sports news before we jump off sports. Yeah, I have one more thing. It'll take us to Florida news.
Nice.
It starts off with a UFC fighter, Luis Pena, charged with robbery, battery, and alleged assault of girlfriend. So this happened on June 22nd from ESPN. UFC fighter Luis Pena was arrested Friday on charges of robbery by sudden snatching, battery, and criminal mischief after a fight with his girlfriend. Spokeswoman for the Coral Springs, Florida Police Department says. So Florida news. Since we got Florida news, we have to Countdown to Florida News. Welcome, guys. This is a Raging Games podcast, weekly with the Game Boys Florida News segment. Today we'll be having quite a few bits here and there. Mavs, what do you have for us tonight?
Would you like some peanuts? Refreshments? Anything else?
A beer, please.
We're all out.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, with water here.
Excellent.
And now we're arriving into Florida news.
Okay. As we run in Florida news, the fighter remains at the Broward County Detention Center awaiting transport to Palm Beach County. He cannot be released on bail after he's being transported. According to the domestic police, possible cause. Pena and his girlfriend had an altercation June 14th. The woman told police that Pena accused her of looking at other men on Instagram, and they grabbed her iPhone and threw it down on the ground, causing the shutter break. And then robbery and snatching a potential felony in Florida. Robbery by sudden snatching is a potential felony in Florida. Huh, I didn't know that. After that, Pena and a woman got in a physical fight that included pushing and punching each other around. She told the officers the woman ended up with a small laceration on the left side of her lip, as well as scratches on and redness on her knuckles. At the time, the woman told cops that Pena had also taken her home keys, but she ended up finding them later. Boca Raton police received an anonymous tip later that night that Pena was going back to his girlfriend's home to kill her. According to the affidavit, damn, that escalated quickly. The caller added that Pena was suicidal and had a gun and a knife. About 30 minutes later, Boca Raton police, Boca Raton, like a rat's mouth. Boca Raton police officers got Pena on the phone. Pena refused to provide a statement and said he would get a lawyer with purpose of meeting at the Boca Raton police department at another time, per the affidavit. June 15th, the officer returned to the woman's home, followed up an interview. Following the affidavit, the woman said Pena punched her on the top of the head while she was asking him to leave the home. She had a lump there. However, the woman refused to let police see the alleged injury. When asked about Pena's having access to firearms, she said that a few weeks prior, Pena brandished a gun while talking to her via FaceTime and threatened to kill himself. Per the affidavit, the woman was upset that Pena had not been arrested yet. Abruptly ended the interview and slammed the door shut. Pena's attorney, Daniel Martinez, hopes to get his transported to Palm Beach County as soon as possible. Martinez says he is very frustrated because Pena remains held without bond at the Broward County, awaiting transport to Palm Beach County since Friday. While Pena was arrested in Broward County, the arrest warrant was issued in Palm Beach County, and Pena was needed to see a judge there before being granted bail, Martinez says. Martinez told ESPN that Pena was under no circumstance committed a robbery, and the entire situation is a much ado about nothing, adding that Pena is innocent until proven guilty. He does not believe any parties involved want to see Pena in jail. He said Pena had been open on social media about mental health issues and is in the process of gaining assistance. Luis, as many fighters do, need help and not punishment. Fighters have a very difficult job. They get hit in the head. They don't know what long-term effects are. So now it's shifting over to trauma issues. He's a fighter. He wants to not get convicted for anything he does because he's had hits to the head, concussions, lots of concussions probably. UFC Executive Vice President Chief Business Officer Hunter Campbell told ESPN on Saturday that the promotion is into looking into the situation, will not book Pena into a fight until he gets more information. Campbell said the UFC has been aware that Pena has been dealing with mental health and substance issues. Ooh. So Pena is going to be out until everything kind of gets settled out. Damn. And other Florida news. Video shows Florida man suspect fleeing police in stolen patrol car. He crashes it and then takes off in another. I want to see this. I bet everybody wants to see this too. Look at this. Okay, so he stole a patrol car. guys, look at this. Okay, so we're watching. He's just a patrol car. The officer gets hits him on the side so he can crash into some trees. He crashes that car. He then proceeds to. Okay, the officer all around him. He runs away. Damn, he's brave. And he steals another patrol car. He steals a patrol car that. Oh, the guns are right on him though. This guy has to be white. No way he's not dead already. No, he stole the patrol car. What? Oh God, he did it. And leads him on a higher speed chase. Oh my God. He just keeps going. And he got a faster truck now. The other car was slower. Oh, but the wheel popped, it looks like. And now the thing stopped and it crashed into a ditch. Crashing into ditch. Yeah, he's stopping. He's not coming out there. The cops are all around him now. What's he gonna do now?
Better luck next time, Florida man.
Better luck next time. So close, Florida man. So close. How is he not dead?
White.
Let's take a look. So they zoom in here. And he just runs. No, he looks black.
I can't tell.
I can't tell. No, he looks black. He looks brown. Look at him. These guys are clearly white. As we freeze frame this, is being shot from a helicopter. Everybody. Yeah, how is he not dead? These Florida cops are actually very resilient. I give a hand to these Florida cops. They're not killing the person. Not killing the person.
It's been hard for them.
It must have been really hard. Officers in Coca, Florida, pursued a police vehicle stolen by from the apartment. Though the worst was over. The worst was over when the suspect was forced off the road. That is, until the suspect took off in a second police car. Police said that in a statement that officers were responding to a disturbance at a motel Thursday when they stopped Xavier Havarn Cummings. That's not even racist, but that's a black name. That's not even racist. Who managed to get into their unlocked cars as the officer were questioning wireless keys. Deputies at Coca Police Department were alerted that the 33-year-old suspect, who was a Coca resident, was entering Volusia County. County on I-95, and the officers were able to force the car into the woods. Cummins quickly emerged from the wreckage and stole another Coca police car as responding officers left the vehicles to approach the crash. As we saw in the video, Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood said that the officers in Coca tried a pit maneuver to make the vehicle veer into the wooden side. That's what it was, like a pit maneuver into the wooden side of the highway. As they attempted to remove Cummins from the vehicle, he just managed to run away and just jump into the fucking second one. That's hilarious. Units from multiple counties, as well as Volusia Sheriff's Department, set up stop sticks along the suspect's route, running him off the road once again. Additional units took the suspect into custody without any police or suspect injuries. Suspect and the vehicles were in wooden areas just on the highway. So the officer attempted to take the suspect into custody. He just fled, jumped in another one, and continued north, said Coca PD in a statement. We're just repeating the same thing over and over at this point. Coca was forced to shut down the highway. Cummings was charged with armed burglary of a convenience, escape, fleeing, or attempt to elude law enforcement. 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 2 counts of grand theft firearm, 2 counts of grand theft motor vehicle, and driver with a suspended license, according to Volusia Sheriff's Department. The last bit, he's still charged with driving with a suspended license. He's being held in Volusia County Jail. In the meantime, video footage of this high-speed chase has gained thousands of shares on social media. Obviously, we're talking about it. Volusia Sheriff Department did not respond to Newsweek in time for publication. Chip would thank thanked responding units on Twitter and expressed gratitude that no one was hurt in the theatrical, albeit dangerous chase. Today's events on 995. Thanks who responded. Glad no one was hurt or worse. That is pretty hilarious. But take it to the next level. Florida woman, not to be outdone by Florida man, leads cops in nearly naked high-speed chase. So look at this. Florida's done a bizarre crime. Easy now. Oh, it's not even a video of the thing. It's lame. A Florida woman was arrested in. Yeah, Florida woman was arrested in. A woman was arrested in Florida on Saturday for allegedly leading law enforcement agencies on a high-speed chase through several counties, and she was reportedly wearing a slightly more than just a grin. The high-speed chase began on Saturday morning when state troopers responded to a stolen vehicle alert from the sheriff's office in Gilchrist County, which is west of Gainesville in the north central part of the state. The woman driving the car, later identified as Rachel Lynn Stefanich, of Plant City, took off on the southbound I-75 through Sumter County. One trooper eventually spotted Stefanich driving the stolen 2009 Cadillac sedan through the Hernando County on I-75. As that trooper attempted to pull the car over, Stefanich then initially took the car up to 110 on a wild multi-county chase. There's a picture of her in the thing. She's not really that cute. The sedan eventually made its way to State Road 52 in Pasco County before it was stopped with pursuing adventure technique, a pit maneuver. And Stefanich was the pit maneuver is very popular amongst Florida officers. Also,
the only reason I know what a pit maneuver is because I watch GTA 5 videos on YouTube.
These are there too. Boom.
Yeah.
It was also used by Alabama too for that when we flipped over that pregnant woman a couple weeks ago. We talked about.
Oh yeah, geez.
Right. Rachel Lynn Stanford who's 24 of Plant City, nearly fully unclothed, was immediately taken into custody and arrested for grand theft auto, reckless driving, and fleeing and eluding law enforcement, and possession of methamphetamines, and also driving with a suspended license. Highway Patrol said to WJTV. Stefanich was later delivered to Hernando County Jail. Troopers said they found a glass pipe, typically used for smoking methamphetamines, and what they believe to be meth inside the vehicle. Troopers also said her license was suspended, and she's claimed the vehicle was that of her aunts, who allegedly allowed her to drive it. So, Florida woman didn't want to let Florida man outdo her. I think we have like 2 more Florida news segments. Man left bleeding after reminding Florida family of mask mandate, and makes mind your own business a little bit more real for them. Real for everybody, really. Everybody's getting mad. Everyone around the country is really mad. A West Maui man said he was assaulted over the weekend and left bleeding after he informed a vacationing Florida family that they needed to wear masks in Hawaii. Oh, so this was in Hawaii. A Florida family vacationing. Florida family, you're not showing much. You're not giving yourself much justice here. Florida family was out vacationing. Humberto Cardenas, a Lahaina resident, said that he had been in line at Panda Express on Saturday when the Florida family entered, and neither father nor son were in masks. Cardenas said he attempted to inform the family of Hawaii's mask mandate, but the family refused to listen to him. The father was like, "Do you work here? Mind your business." He was telling me to leave him alone. Cardenas told Hawaii News now. So I let them know again, you have to wear a mask. You're in Hawaii. You're not back in your hometown. The confrontation turned physical, Cardenas says. It began when the father put his finger in Cardenas' chest, and Cardenas admitted he punched the man. His father just put his finger on my chest, so out of defense I reacted. I hit him because you don't just touch somebody. After that, his son came at me. I never laid my hands on him, he said. Cardenas said the son hit him while his father held him back. Cardenas' mother witnessed the event and called the police before videotaping. The aftermath of the incident was posted on Facebook and showed Cardenas with blood above his right eye and Maui police officers, ABC local news station KITV4 reported. Maui police flooded a disorderly conduct report and said all parties involved were issued warning, but no arrests were made. Hawaii News Now reported. Hawaii Governor David Iggy only lifted mask mandates for outdoors on Tuesday, regardless of vaccination status. Masks are still required indoors everywhere, which some find confusing. For the Center of Disease and Control and Prevention, recent changes to COVID guidelines. Cardenas said that the experience had been frustrating for him as he works in the food industry and has to tell people to wear masks when they come into the restaurant like all the time. They get really mad. They let their anger out on us. They get verbally abusive and they start like being really rude. They expect aloha, but they don't give it in return, Cardenas said. Outsiders think that they have all this privilege. They come to Hawaii expecting to get all that aloha, all that respect, but they come here without any aloha, without any respect, and they get mad when you don't receive it. He ranted on. Ida reported that 31% of respondents to the survey said that they had interacted with over 30 people not wearing masks during their shifts in 2020. Aside from the threat of physical violence, report from One Fair Wage said nearly 65% of workers reported customers docking tips if they were asked to follow public health protocols. So you get shitty tips if you told them, "Hey, could you like not be a dick? Like put your mask up. I don't want to die here with a disease you might be passing around." The on-duty manager at Panda Express in Laha'i refused comment and did not release any surveillance video. Okay, so Florida family at large, just around Hawaii, just punch people out. Don't you talk to my father? Don't you talk to my father and punch? Fuck the Florida family. Bunch of Republicans. But in good news, there was a man that was arrested for being accused of beating, torturing an iguana, and it will now stand trial using his stand your ground defense against an iguana. A Florida man is standing trial on a felony animal cruelty charge for beating an iguana to death because it bit him on the arm, and the judge rejected his stand your ground defense. They rejected his defense. PJ Nelesia Patterson, 43, said the iguana attacked him, biting him on the arm, and had used deadly force in retaliation. Palm Beach County Circuit Judge Jeffrey Dana Gillen recently denied the unusual defense in a ruling. The South Florida Sun Sentinel reported. Patterson's public defender, Frank Vasconcelos, wrote that the iguana was the aggressor when it leaned forward with its mouth wide open and showed its sharp teeth in a threatening manner before attacking Patterson. In retaliation, Patterson kicked the iguana as far as he could, according to Venezuela's. Patterson believed that the iguana could have injected poison into him, and thus he rushed to incapacitate the iguana the best way he could in order to preserve its antidote. Okay. Iguanas are not poisonous creatures and typically run when humans approach, the Associated Press reported. Additionally, the iguanas do produce venom. The venom is harmless to humans. So iguanas are not neither venomous nor poisonous. Remember that, people. Stand your ground law allows a person who is under attack and reasonably fears.
But they do bite.
They will bite you if you piss them off. So don't piss an iguana off. Don't do that, people. Be nice. Be nice to your iguanas. Be nice to people.
I feel like iguanas are like the honey badgers of the lizard family.
They don't take anybody's shit.
No, I feel like especially the Galapagos Island iguanas.
Oh yeah, they're big
motherfuckers
iguanas.
Are tough.
These things are huge.
The honey badgers of the lizard family.
The stand your ground law allows a person who is under attack and reasonably fears for their death or great bodily harm to use deadly force, even if they retreat to safety. It's been used in several high-profile cases since it was adopted 16 years ago. but this might be the first time in the recipient of deadly force was an animal. Excuse me. I'm dying over here. They're basically the judge told them, fuck off. You can't stand your ground against an iguana. It's smaller than you. It bit you. Leave it alone. What? Prosecutor said Patterson savagely beat, tormented, tortured, and then killed the 3-foot iguana in a half-hour attack caught on surveillance video. Oh, they caught this on video. Prosecutor Alexander Dorman.
An hour?
Half hour.
For a half hour, he beat an iguana?
Yes. Beat, tormented.
That, Jesus Christ.
Tortured and then
That's
killed
fucked up.
this 3-foot iguana. Poor iguana. A prosecutor Alexander
I
Dorman
thought he accidentally killed it when he kicked it after it bit him.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, at first I thought he kicked him and you would think, oh yeah, let me just kick this thing and it died when it flew.
This dumb bitch can't take a kick.
Animal Control prosecutor Alexander Dorman said that at no time was the iguana posing any real threat to Patterson last September, and was not justified in his actions when he decided to kick his defenseless animal at least 17 times, causing his death. Oh my God. Animal control officer said Patterson tormented the animal, which is why it bit him in the arm, causing the wound that required 22 staples to close. Oh, so he tormented first this iguana. So he was tormenting this iguana before it bit him. Under state law, people who are allowed to kill iguanas as an invasive species in a quick and humane manner, a necropsy, though showed the iguana had lacerated liver, broken pelvis, and internal bleeding, which are painful and terrifying injuries, prosecutor contended. Any force used by Patterson in order to further avoid great bodily harm or even death was reasonably justified, his lawyer wrote. Judge Gillian rejected the argument. Patterson could get up to 5 years in prison if convicted.
Fuck that guy. Send him to jail.
Fuck that guy.
Jesus fuck. People like that out there. Was that a Florida man story too?
That was also a Florida man story. Man in Florida, yes. So here's the last bit of Florida man news stories before we jump off the rest of Florida man bandwagon. Florida man 83 shot neighbor in a heated dispute about ducks and geese, says daughter. An 83-year-old Florida man has been charged with attempted first-degree murder after he allegedly shot his neighbor over a dispute about feeding local ducks and geese. Damn, Victor Esqueda allegedly approached his neighbor, Jose Gambaruta, on Tuesday morning as Gambaruta sat on his own front porch. The two men got into a scuffle, and Esqueda eventually shot Gambaruta in his arm, as witnesses said. Gambaruta eventually released the gun, and witnesses then called police after kicking the gun away. Local 10 News reported. Gambaruta recorded an incident on his cell phone and needed the police to arrest Esqueda. Later on Tuesday, Esqueda is being held without bond on Wednesday after court hearing. Gambaruta remains in the hospital recovering from his injury. Esqueda's daughter told the news outlet that the shooting occurred because of an ongoing dispute involving her father feeding local ducks and geese. While the nature of the dispute remains unclear, such birds can be a nuisance, destroy property, and spread disease. When I came home and I heard he shot a man, and I'm like, why did you shoot him? Esqueda's daughter said his father could be difficult to get along with, but added that she never thought he was capable of such action.
Did you talk about them gorillas dismantling them traps yet?
No,
What?
send me a link.
I already did. It's in your check your messages from me, your text messages. Well, it wasn't a link actually. It was just a picture, but I didn't even get the link. It was a screenshot. It was a screenshot.
So, I think that's does that wrap up our Florida menus? Let me check.
I believe so, yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So I only missed the first.
Welcome, Butt Chugging Smith. He's butt chugging milk here. Butt
Butt
chugging milk.
chugging milk. Butt chugging milk. I'm on Firewheel Park. No, I'm on Rowlett Road. I'm about to.
That's butt chugging milk's intro.
Butt chugging milk.
So I guess let's start on to some more serious news subjects. We'll start off with the young gorilla that's seen dismantling poacher traps for the first time. Days after poacher traps killed a young mountain gorilla in Rwanda's Volcanoes National Park, researchers have spotted someone remarkable. His feet. 2 4-year-old gorillas working together to dismantle similar snares in the area. So they noticed how the other boy got killed and said, "Fuck that! Fuck those guys."
They saw some humans walking up on the trap, and they stopped, and they're like, "Yo, hold up!" And then 2 other gorillas dismantled the traps while the one gorilla stopped the human from getting caught in the trap.
Oh wow! God bless Gen Z gorillas.
Yeah.
Hashtag God bless Gen Z gorillas, guys. That's funny.
Well, 4 years old, they'd technically be Gen Alpha.
Oh, and other news.
Well, actually, it depends on how old. It depends on how old the story is.
And other news from Butt Chugging Milk. China is announced that they're going to go to Russia, and they're going to. China announced they're going to go to Mars, not Russia.
China, what? I said World War coming?
China.
Yeah, China's trying to beat us to Mars.
BBC says that China is working their ass off right now to get to Mars. Pictures were acquired by a wireless camera that robots have been placed on the ground. So they're already seen the robot. The new media release also includes sequences from Zhao's landing in May, showing the deployment of its parachute system in moments of touchdown.
They're going to try to take entire Western Hemisphere. That's best hemisphere.
Best hemisphere for China.
It's the same on Earth too.
The China National Space Agency (CNSA) says that Zhurong has driven 236 miles and 42 Mars sols as 27th of June. A sol is a Martian day. It lasts slightly longer than an Earth day, about 24 hours and 39 minutes. Neat. The videos are taken from the surface. Turn off the speaker. You got it.
Yeah, hang on. I just got home. Hang on.
Jesus.
A quick commercial break. Have you ever decided that you need to shave your balls? Well, you know what you might need? You might need some Manscaped. Manscaped products will help you get your balls a nice clean feeling without getting any nicks or cuts. It even has a little light so you can see. You want to show it off eventually, right? But you can actually use the little light to see every nook and cranny so you don't miss a single spot. You don't want to leave that jungle untrimmed, people. Buy Manscaped products. Use promo code. The one that Jim Cornette promotes. We're gonna steal his promo code. Use his promo code. I think it's Drive. I have to look it up, but go to manscaped.com if you really need something to help you trim things up. It's summertime, guys. You don't want to get really hot. It gets nasty if it gets really hot. All right, we'll move on to the next subject after our ad.
Wow.
We're trying to get sponsored. We have to do ads eventually.
Commercial break's still on, right?
No, I'm not judging. Just you do you.
I literally saw that Manscaped spot from Jim Cornette. He has a promo
That's gonna
code.
come for you. I'm gonna send you. It's gonna give you leave you a voicemail, strongly worded letters.
Why? He's getting promotion. I need to rename these things. Ah. Yeah, I really gotta rename these effects. Because we have the soundboard now. Let's go to other news subjects. Oh yeah, we forgot the last thing in Florida news. It was the biggest thing that everybody keeps talking about. It's actually across the U.S. news boards. There's that condo in Miami that shook and left like 9 people dead, and everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Like it's been shaking all the time. Surfside condo owners complain of the luxury tower just being built next door, just shaking all the time. The one that fell down 2.5 years before her building collapsed in a pile of rubble. Champlain's tower South resident Mara Chalou dashed off the latest in a string of angry complaints about the development's project next door. We are concerned that the construction next to the Surfside is too close. Chalou, a board member with the condo association, wrote in January 2019 email to the building official in a Florida town. Workers were digging too close to our property, and we have concerns regarding the structure of our building. She wrote, attaching photos of construction equipment directly across from her building property wall. Just 28 minutes later, the official, Rosendo Prieto, responded that there's nothing for me to check. The reason why the offending development, an ultra-luxury tower known as the 87 Park, was directly across the border separating the town of Surfside from the city of Miami Beach, which runs between the two buildings. In the wake of the Champlain Tower South disaster, 87 Park is facing new scrutiny. Champlain residents have complained that construction on the neighboring building would regularly cause their units to shake, according to friends and family members of the condo owners, as well as emails released by the town. Okay. They built way too close. Damn, look at this. Okay. Look at this. This is a condo that collapsed in Miami. Left 9 people dead. At least 9 people dead after potential partial building collapse near Miami. Technically Miami Beach, but Alina Suar, one of the 3 commissioners for Surfside, Florida, said that Sunday night, survivors of the Champlain Tower South collapse, she encountered, said they felt shaking during construction on a nearby building in recent years. So they're blaming it on the building next door.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, good. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. That means these headphones have a mic.
There we go.
Okay, that's good news. I have my Bose in, so it should be all right.
Yes, excellent. That sounds great, actually. They were all very traumatized, and they were shook up. Everybody's dying. Everybody's not happy with this. We have identified 4 additional victims and a sadly unexpected loss of lives in a tragic Surfside building collapse, said Miami-Dade police. Damn. At least 9 people were killed. The rest of the building partial collapse. A total of 134 people have been accounted for, while 152 remain unaccounted for. Ooh. That sucks. Everybody's talking about this too.
Do we have a satire segment?
Like the Onion.
Child's favorite restaurant, also dad's favorite bar. like Onion stories and shit.
You can be the satire segment.
I can do. I'll start next week.
U.S. carriers.
I only had the one. Well, we just had the one.
Apparently, U.S. carriers carries out airstrike in Iraq and Syria on Iranian-backed militias. So we're attacking Iraq and Syria. The U.S. military on Sunday conducted airstrikes on facilities using Iran-based militia groups in Iraq-Syria border region. The targets of facilities are Iran-backed militias having used an unmanned aerial vehicle or drone attacks against U.S. Personnel and facilities in Iraq, according to a statement from Pentagon spokesman John Kirby. Given the ongoing series of attacks by Iran-backed groups targeting U.S. interests in Iraq, the president directed further military action to disrupt and deter such attacks, Kirby said in the statement. Defense official told CBS News that all targets, command and control logistics for drones were hit. There were no indications of civilian casualties. According to Kirby's statement, the U.S. strikes against targeted operations and weapons storage facilities at 2 locations in Syria and 1 location in Iraq. The U.S. official said the locations that were hit included the site from which drones took off, recovered, were controlled. The official told that there have been at least 5 drone attacks by Iranian-backed militias against bases in Iraq, where with U.S. troops, contractors, and other personnel were located. Okay. Strikes carried out by U.S. 515s, 516s. They dropped 500-pound bombs. Nice. No one's been killed.
Oh, remember that giant object heading towards the solar system from last week?
You mentioned it, yes.
Yeah, well, I guess there's now it's astronomer. I just see a new headline. It says astronomers just discovered a tiny planet heading towards our inner solar system.
It's labeled a tiny planet now?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same object, but it probably is. I mean, it's massive enough. Like a tiny planet works out. It looks, it sounds about right.
Oh my god. Possible. Did Twitch change my thing? Let me go check. Video person. Stream manager. Stream info.
Oh, there's also a theory about, it's a Loki thing. It says the timekeepers are stopping Wanda's kid's birth.
That's all that speculation, right?
Yeah, that's just the theory.
Factual failure point.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay, Elon. Here's a news. Elon Musk says SpaceX's Starlink internet service possibly on track for 500,000 users in 1 year. 500,000 users in 1 year. He says it's on track to meet that goal.
What is? His
SpaceX's internet service, their Starlink internet.
Oh, they have internet?
Worth it.
Yeah, is it in here in Dallas? Because I'll buy it.
You're freaking right. I don't know. Probably. We can check it out.
Oh, and conspiracy.
Here, I'll send you that link. Hang on.
You got something, Matt?
Send it to me too. I don't know. That just sounds interesting.
So, in other news, antivirus software pioneer John McAfee hangs himself in a Spanish show. But
Dun, dun, dun.
Old tweets spark conspiracy theories. Dun dun dun! I gotta have a dun 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 sound effect.
Yes.
Oh shit! There's a new metal in X-Men, and it's better than both adamantium and vibranium, apparently.
John McAfee, the antivirus software pioneer, died suspiciously inside his jail cell in Spain on June 23rd. But according to jail authorities, McAfee ended his life inside the jail premises hours after Spanish court had approved. Are you watching something?
No, I was just letting the dogs. I came to the living room.
Oh, okay.
Dan Harmon be looking like Karl Marx. That's a headline. The fuck.
What?
It's a headline from it's just Reddit, but still, it was a headline on my Google News feed, and it's a screen cap of Dan Harmon from the behind the scenes Rick and Morty video that just released from the last episode, and it says Dan Harmon be looking like Karl Marx. And bro, he really is though.
That's pretty funny. So John McAfee died inside a Spanish jail cell on June 23rd. He said his ended life on jail premises after the Spanish court had approved his extradition to the U.S., where he had been accused of tax evasion and other financial offenses. Only tax evasion? According to the reports, McAfee was found hanging at Bryan's 2 prison in northeastern Spain. The security personnel who found him dead immediately tried to revive him, but the efforts went in vain. The jail's medical team finally certified his death, from that regional Catalan government said. Incidentally, McAfee's alleged suicide came just hours after a national court of Spain had ordered his extradition to the U.S., where he was wanted in several cases. Even though the court rulings was open to appeal and was approval was needed from his Spanish cabinet, McAfee allegedly ended his life fearing extradition. Soon after his death, several conspiracy theories have been floating around the internet, hinting at some mystery surrounding his sudden death. A tweet put out by McAfee in December 2019 had given more fuel to such theories. In the tweet, he shares a picture of a tattoo on his right arm saying, "If I suicide myself, I didn't do it. I got whacked. Check my right arm." Getting several message from the U.S. Force saying, "In effect, we're coming for you, McAfee. We're going to kill you yourself. We're going to kill you yourself. I got tattooed today just in case."
Oh my god.
In his
Shit,
2019 tweet, McAfee also accused U.S. officials of sending him threats and subtle messages. According to a few, John McAfee's whacked tattoo was a hint that his life was in danger, as he suggested in his tattoo, saying if he were ever found dead by suicide, one should think he didn't kill himself. Another tweet months ago, McAfee had allegedly strangely compared himself to Jeffrey Epstein, who was also found dead in front of an apparent suicide in his prison cell. "I'm content here. I have friends. The food is good. All is well," he wrote in October 2020. "Know that if I hang myself, a la Epstein, it will be no fault of mine." In October 15, 2020, his October 15, 2020 reference to millionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who had died similarly by hanging himself in a New York jail cell in 2019 while waiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Hours after McAfee's death, his Instagram account posted a cryptic message that showed the letter Q, an apparent reference to his conspiracy theorist QAnon. God damn it. On Wednesday, minutes after it was reported by multiple news organizations that former tech giant and millionaire John McAfee has ended his life by apparent suicide in his Spanish jail cell, several conspiracy theories began floating around on social media. It just took a massive turn after his Instagram account posted a Q text fueling more theories. His Instagram posted the Q. The post, which depicted a black capital Q and a white background, was posted less than half an hour after the English language news service began reporting of his death. The post had now created a storm. Several top QAnon influencers speculating on his nature of McAfee's death. God damn it. The QAnon conspiracy theories emerged in the United States during President Donald Trump's term in the White House, speculating that the former president was waging a secret global war against global cabal of drug peddlers, saying worshipping Democratic pedophiles. The allegations of QAnon found traction among many U.S. citizens and supporters of former president's fan base throughout the 2020 election. McAfee was, of course, the founder of McAfee Antivirus. He did a bunch of other things. He worked for NASA, Xerox, like Martin, before launching his own antivirus in '87. He got a bunch of money. He sold his software to Intel for $7.7 billion in 2011. He's no longer involved with the business. However, antivirus programs still carry his name, basically everywhere. Interesting, McAfee had also tried his hand in politics by contending the U.S. presidency twice, and was a participant in the Libertarian Party in the presidential debate in 2016. McAfee is locked up in jail in Spain since he was arrested in Barcelona airport in October 2020, where he was about to board a flight to Istanbul. He is alleged to have failed to file tax returns between 2014 and 2018, even earning millions from consulting work, cryptocurrencies, and selling the rights to his life story. If he was convicted, he could have been jailed for at least 30 years in prison. But he's dead now. And he keeps saying in weird old tweets that if he found me dead, it wasn't me. Thoughts?
Fuck him. Good for him. He doesn't have to deal with this bullshit anymore. Doesn't have to deal with Earth's bullshit anymore.
I mean, that's fair. Pelosi did announce she's making a committee to investigate, a select committee to investigate the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. Right? Yeah, January 6th.
Oh, The Punisher will reportedly be the first of many R-rated MCU shows on Hulu.
Oh, they're actually making
nice.
MCU shows. Nice. Okay, let's.
I'm sending you the shit right now.
Let's move over to entertainment news.
Oh, good, because I have another one too for entertainment. Never, never fucking mind. I'm a liar. Wild bobcats make woman's front porch their home.
Oh God.
Okay, sorry.
So in other entertainment news, besides The Punisher reported to be one of the first of many R-rated MCU shows on Hulu, that sounds cool. Windows 11 also got announced here, I think a couple days ago, 3 days ago. Microsoft has now officially announced Windows 11 and will now be with us before the end of the year, apparently. People can have early access to early builds, so they can kind of see what to work with. But for the most part, if you're a gamer, Windows, they say that's focused a lot on gaming. So if you're a gamer, Windows 11 was made for you. In a statement in a bold statement from Microsoft, it's about time we had a new version of Windows after all. When it would be a release? Should be there's insider builds already coming out on the 28th, so I'm gonna look into one of those. But we should expect a main release by November 2021. It says it's going to be free for Windows 10 users. It's going to change the UI a little bit. It's going to have a round look to it. Kind of looks like a Mac almost. Softer, rounded theme. Other major changes. The taskbar's in the middle. It can run Android apps, which is cool. That's something yeah, it can run Android apps.
APK support. Woo!
You'll be able to sideload APK files from elsewhere. This comes courtesy of the work Intel has been doing along with its bridge technology. But don't worry, if you run on AMD, it can run on AMD CPUs as well. So it's also can sideload Amazon. It's loaded with Amazon. It has Amazon apps in the Windows Store now. It's just a new version of the Windows Store. It's bold. It's a bold claim that it says the best Windows for PC gaming, but the sign that taking gaming seriously is something that I tend to take for granted in the past. There's 2 new technologies that are designed for gaming: Auto HDR and Direct Storage. We'll see better integration of the Xbox app also into Windows. Auto HDR gives games a boost. It has been shown off at the Insider Preview builds for a few months now on Windows 10, but on its previous technology that Windows has used on the Xbox Series X. It doesn't work with every game. Many DirectX 11 games should benefit from it. You obviously need an HDR compatible screen to get the most from it, but the results can be profound different. Not much gaming can be coded in HDR from the first place, but once you give new lease on life of some old games. It's going to be pre-built into Windows 11. That's cool. Direct storage is exclusive to Windows 11. It's a bit more controversial, but this technology has been expected for most AVM SSDs for a while now. It's been revealed that you won't need to have the fastest PCI for SSDs to gain the benefit of direct storage, as it will work with any PCI 3 SSD. But you will have to see. We'll have to see how this all pans out. The promise with direct storage is that it will make gaming loading levels and textures much quicker, potentially allowing gaming developers to build games in a completely different way. Streaming environments in a more efficient way sounds like a great idea, but how are game developers going to allow for a completely different type of drivers games have to have in the machines? I mean, some PCs are running on hard drives after all. The fact that it's going to be coming to Xbox Series XS could work in favor here, giving developers an opportunity to say, look, we're going to need NVMe SSDs to play this game. It's going to be a while before we start seeing games that make the most direct storage, and PCs not getting support until Windows 11 by the end of the year. But plenty could change before the first game support in this tech is revealed. What's the requirements for Windows 11? So looks like Windows 10, 1 gigahertz faster processor. Are
you still on the Windows thing?
Yeah, 4 gigs. Yada. It's free. I think that's it. Cool.
Oh, I got some more some more bullshit from EA whenever we get to our gaming segment.
Actually,
EA's up to their
might as well go into gaming.
EA's up to their same bullshit. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Oh well, real quick before gaming, the one last entertainment story. Karen Gillan releases photos from her set from as Nebula from the next Thor movie, Love and Thunder.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so Nebula's, I mean, definitely going to be in Thor 4. I'm sure everyone already knew that, but she released photos.
She is part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah, so. Okay, so gaming news. So Doom Eternal's next gen update finally released. They now support ray tracing. They have some new skins out. They got some other upgrades they did. Mostly quality of life upgrades.
Okay. Nice. And other gaming news, Minecraft did do its update, and there's an article here on how to find amethyst shards in Minecraft, one of the new materials that got released with the new update. If you're wondering what amethyst shards are, they're a new material first introduced with the Cliffs and Caves update. We will have to wait until the second half of the update to explore the new biomes, but there are plenty of other things to be excited for Mojang's Black World, such as the axolotl and a vibrant new axolotl and a vibrant new glowberries. What are glowberries? Minecraft amethyst is a crystalline material with different growth stages and blocks associated with it. The cool thing about amethyst is you can't find it normally. You have to find it like in a geode. So you can't just find it around anywhere. Instead, you have to hunt down these like giant, these big amethyst geodes. The good news is that they're reasonably easy to spot. The geodes are large, spherical structures with an outer layer of basalt, usually found between bedrock and Y70, though you might get lucky and see one partially exposed on the surface. Once you locate a geode, you want to break through the first two layers to locate the amethyst inside. Mining this amethyst clusters will drop 4 amethyst shards. You can craft spyglass, amethyst blocks, and tinted glass with it right now. Apparently, spyglass is precisely what you think it is. You use it to zoom in on specific locations. That's nice.
All right. Let's see. New mystery id Software game rated in Australia. So, for those unaware, id Software is the studio behind Doom 2016, Doom Eternal. Well, all the other Doom games as well, but most notably their last 2 games, or Rage as well. So Doom and Rage. So they have a new. There's a new unknown game that was just rated by the Australian Classification Board. It's a mystery id Software game known only as Project 2021B. Although they also had this is the second time that they rated a game that nobody knew what the hell it was until it came out. It was the first one was Project 2021A, but that ended up being Doom 3 VR edition for PlayStation VR. So it could either be, like a VR version or a revamped version of an older game, or it could be something totally new. Nobody knows yet.
Interesting. Don't worry about that. How's it?
And then I have another one.
Another one?
Yes. I have 2 more. I have 2 more gaming newses. Okay. Let's see. Accept all. Okay.
Sorry.
Grime launches its Metroidvania-like black hole-headed combat in August. So there's a new Metroidvania coming out. It's called Grime. And it says here it's polished up all those creepy caves and creatures and gotten ready for release day. After crawling out of the bones of the earth, your black hole-headed protagonist proceeds to suck up other rocky baddies, equip them as weapons, and use them against even bigger boss boulder folks. So I guess it's centered around rocks and shit. You can catch a bit of its grim and grimy world down here in the new trailer. Oh, there's a new trailer. It reveals its August 2nd launch dates. So there's a trailer for this game that I haven't seen.
Nice.
That we can check out. Until then, if you want to get that ready, if you want to play it, it's up to you.
No, we don't have to watch it right now.
Yeah. We can watch it later. Okay, so that new EA bullshit, because everybody knows EA's always up to some bullshit, right?
Okay,
so
what's EA's bullshit?
They be butt chugging bullshit. Okay, so EA ignored domain vulnerabilities for months despite warnings and breaches.
Really?
So EA, who's surprised really? So
Yeah.
the company has faced criticism for a massive breach earlier this month, but still left multiple domains vulnerable to takeover. EA is facing even more criticism. Okay, yeah. Ignoring shit. Okay, officials from Israel cybersecurity firm Cyberpeon.
Cyber P on
approached EA
her.
last year
Cyber P
to,
on
like,
me.
Well, anyway, they came up to EA and they're like, "Hey, y'all got multiple fucking domains that could be subject to some bullshit. Like, if y'all don't get this shit taken care of." Essentially, EA was just like, fuck them," and didn't do shit about it. So let's see. What we found is the ability to take over assets of EA. It is more than just taking the assets of EA. It is about what can be done with those assets because we know EA. We know that if somebody can send emails from the domains of EA to us, the customers or the suppliers of EA or employees of EA, then that's the easiest door to the company. It isn't even a door. It's something simpler. I don't know. That was just a random paragraph there. Okay, he explains that by using the stolen domains, malicious actors could send emails purporting to be from EA and ask people to send account information or other data. EA was already facing backlash last week after it was revealed that a chain of vulnerabilities could have allowed attackers to gain access to personal information and take control of accounts.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. If they have my credit card number, then I'd be worried about.
Yeah.
Anything else I don't give a shit about.
Yeah, either way, EA's into some more fucking hot water because they're a piece of shit company and they always will be.
Welcome to EA.
Yep. Right. So that's
That's
all I have
about
in
right.
gaming. That's all I have in gaming news for now. Does anybody have anything else?
No,
Let me see what I got in gaming news. Hollow Knight news. Did I have anything there? Oh no, the Hollow Knight news was that don't expect any Hollow Knight news.
Yeah, there was like that bad news, and that was that there was no news for Silk Song, the new Hollow Knight 2 Silk Song.
How to find and grow glowberries in Minecraft. I didn't know what glowberries were, but apparently there's a new thing. There's a new food item that will be added to the latest update. First part of the Caves and Cliffs update. They decided to split it into two. If you're wondering how to find glowberries, what the use is, if you're not going to expect a new biome into 2021. You find many related plants, items, creatures in the block world already. Where to find them? You can find them basically. They're still pretty rare because they naturally spawn in lush caves, a new biome that's rained later this year. All is not lost though. You can still obtain them if you get lucky with the loot found in random Minecraft chests. Oh, okay, just find them in chests. What do glowberries do? They're just a food source, like sweet berries.
There's a WitcherCon? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
They're like sweet berries will replenish 2 hunger points when consumed. But what, there's a WitcherCon?
Yeah, there's a WitcherCon. It says WitcherCon schedule revealed by Netflix and CD Projekt Red. July 9th, 2021, there's WitcherCon. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. I guess that doubles as gaming and entertainment news. What doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like you've been what was the Bard's song?
Toss a coin to your.
There you go. Yes, there you are. I was like, dun dun.
Valley of poor folk. Valley
Valley of empty.
Well, it's Valley of Plenty, but that's like a sick joke. Like, the fact that they say Valley of Plenty is
no
the
Valley
joke.
of Plenty.
Because they're all like
poor,
they're like sickly, and then like here's 3 shekels that my entire family saved over 3 generations, and he's like, I need at least 4 times that. Like,
at least 4.
At least 4 times what your entire generational fucking savings. 3 generations of savings. Yeah, that's not enough. Sorry, kid. You're just gonna have to die of this fucking vampire.
Like next time.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's go find any world news before we move over to Loki. Family climbs for hope. I survived all the stuff. So Condo. No. Go ahead.
Real quick, one more relevant gaming news that people might actually want to hear. Let's see. PS5 stock UK. Okay, so Amazon PS5 console restock could drop soon. So the PS5's won't be all out of fucking stock anymore here pretty soon, it says. So if you want to get a PS5, I guess you could probably get one pretty soon.
Okay. Ooh, the historic Norwest heat wave linked to dozens of deaths and hundreds of emergency room visits. The people up in Northwest Pacific can't handle the heat. It's been very hot up there since Friday. Hundreds of people visit emergency departments or urgent care clinics since as many as 60 deaths have been reported. And the excruciating heat wave smashed all temperature records in Oregon, Washington, and Canada. Because they can't handle the heat, they're dying up there. They physically can't handle the heat up there. Portland set
My, how the turns have tabled.
Portland set record high
Can't
temperature in
handle a
3
little
days.
heat. Can't handle a little heat.
It's only 108 degrees. Seattle hit 108 degrees, a new record. Portland topped out 116 on Monday. At least 2 locations in Washington reached 118, which, if confirmed, would tie the state temperature record that dates back to 1928. Oh my God, it's getting hot. It's like we're fucking up the planet or something. That'll be fine. They can't handle the heat.
It's on fucking fire!
No, it's fine.
No, it's literally on fire.
I know it's I know it's on fire. A town in southwest Canada registered a temperature of 117.5 degrees, the highest ever recorded in the country, and around 48 degrees above what's normal for this time of year.
Jesus fuck.
Scientists have told CNN the heat wave is a clear sign of the climate crisis, and that similar extreme heat events will happen more frequently in the future.
Well, a toast to the coldest summer of the rest of our lives.
Woo! Yay! Cheers, everybody.
Jose, you want a beer? You want a beer? For real? You want?
Yes.
I'll bring you one right now. Okay, I'll bring you a beer.
Cheers. In Washington, at least 676 people visited emergency departments for heat-related symptoms from Friday through Sunday alone before peak had descended upon the state. Corey Porter.
You just stop. You're gonna edit. You're editing later. You just
Yeah, fuck. Just mute yours. Bitch. Ouch.
Give me a second. I'm figuring it out. I'm still learning Discord, so.
There should be a mute button. There you go.
Wait.
God damn it. The thing kept fucking disappearing as I was trying to press it.
It's okay, Grandpa. Take your time.
Yeah, if you come in here, just mute it like that, because that way it doesn't get the echo. Excellent.
Yeah, now I'm the only one hearing an echo.
Basically, but no one. I'm not. I'm not recording you.
but at least I can hear what I sound like from the background.
Yes, and
which is nice.
King County, which includes Seattle, had 40 emergency visits due to heat-related illness on Saturday and 91 on Sunday. What the fuck? Over the last 3 years, a previous maximum single-day count of emergency department admissions for heat-related illness was 9, and now it's 91. Oregon Health Authority reported a total of 506 heat-related visits in emergency departments and urgent care centers over the past 4 days. At least 251 visits occurred on Monday alone, where temperatures were the highest. In the Portland area, 96 emergency department and urgent care visits for heat-related injuries were accounted for.
You remember that one time in fucking what's it called? The UK somewhere. They had like they had like a bicycle race or running or something, and people were like having heat strokes and shit, and it was like whatever degrees Celsius, and it ended up being like 70 something Fahrenheit.
It was like 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of bitch made.
Come down to Texas, people. You guys would die. Actually, come down to Texas, please.
Unless you're from California.
They can't handle the heat.
We have too many. We have too many Californians.
But they can't handle the heat. That's a joke. Nearly 600 people went to the county's cooling centers in Portland area on Monday.
They're bringing our property taxes up.
That's true. Get out of our state.
Texas pride people. I want everybody around the country to hear me. We don't want you here, but we will tolerate you here if you pay us.
There's most people here that are in here that we don't want, such as like Greg Abbott. We don't want him either.
Everybody go vote later this year if you want Greg Abbott out or
Definitely.
Greg Abbott in. It's up to y'all as a political
No, fuck Greg Abbott.
Fuck Greg Abbott. Thank you. I try to be right in the middle towards everybody in the show, but my political leanings will say fuck Greg Abbott.
Well, most people are fuck Greg Abbott. He's a piece of shit.
There you go.
Yep.
He's literally just a piece of shit human.
And let's go check out Greg Abbott news since we're on the topic of Greg Abbott. Let's see anything this idiot's done. Greg Abbott news.
Wheelchair, right?
Yes, of course. That doesn't change.
Good. Fucking. Honestly, I saw. I guess there's a bunch of outrage over people making fun of him for him being in a wheelchair, and then I'm just over here like, dude, fuck that guy. Like, who gives a shit? Like, he's a piece of shit. He deserves all this smoke.
Texas voters are split over Greg Abbott's job performance, but it remains popular among Republicans.
Of course he does.
UT/TT polls find. This is University of Texas Tribune polls. The June 2021 poll showed that 44% of Texans approve of Abbott's job as governor, while 44% disapprove. The approval rating from Texas voters is better than those of Joe Biden, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, and John Corlin, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Attorney General Ken Paxton, and House Speaker Dan Phelan.
Bro, what's that say about Ted Cruz that people hate him more than Greg Abbott?
Wow.
I know.
Ted Cruz is a fucking idiot, though.
Yeah, he fucking is. And he looks fucking stupid, too.
Texas voters are split on whether they approve of Greg Abbott's job performance, so he's remained popular with Republicans. The 2021 polls that we just read that. Democratic disapproval of Abbott remained potent. 82% of Democrats disapprove of Abbott, while 75% of Democrats saying they strongly disapprove of his performance. What we are now seeing that Democrats are registering as much disapproval with him as with really any kind of national Republican figure. Joshua Blank, researcher, director of Texas Politics Project. Abbott earned higher marks among Texas voters regarding his COVID-19 response at the start of the pandemic. Blank pointed out in April 2020, 56% of Texans approved of Abbott's response to the pandemic, but that slipped to 44% in the latest June poll. One of the things that benefits Greg Abbott was Donald Trump. So Donald Trump's inability to appear to be seriously dealing with the pandemic made Abbott's attempt early on, even if they were criticized, much more serious looking, both the Republicans and Democrats. And I think that's why the numbers were so high. As the pandemic drew on, Democrats disapproved of Abbott's increasingly steady. In a latest poll, 81% of Democrats disapproved of Abbott's COVID-19 response, with 67% saying they strongly disagreed, while 74% of Republicans approved and 45% strongly approved.
So, I would like to invite everybody listening right now to take a moment to load a bowl, roll a joint, take a hit, do something.
Oh, that's such a good fucking idea.
Yes.
On that,
You're a genius.
Is that an effect? Hello?
yes, and everybody, let's take a moment to load a bowl, let it join, grab your bong, grab a spliff, to get everybody really high. That's ended before a little bit faster than I thought it would. Mans, what do you think?
Perfect.
In our TV segment, we would like to.
It went dark. I can't hear nothing. Ever since you said, whenever you said, let's take a moment too, and it cut out. It just went.
Interesting. I'm still recording.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Check your mic. You're not saying anything either. So, on entertainment, along with more entertainment news, we want to talk about Loki tonight, of course, and the Dark Side of the Ring. We watched the Becoming a Warrior episode, dealing with of course, the shittiest wrestler of all time, but yet one of the more popular ones, the Ultimate Warrior.
Fucking dickwad what he was.
Oh yeah, he was a major dick. With Loki, we got episode 3, and we're about to get episode 4 here in about 3 hours. I told you that it comes at 2 a.m., right? We got Chugging Milk trying to come in and out. Are you there, Mr. Chugging Milk?
I just have to go out, come back.
It does that sometimes. It depends on like the connection, of course. Any more news that anybody had that we want to talk about? Mostly in the entertainment section.
I think that might.
I think we grabbed everything. EA, Grime. Let me look through. Let me look at the through. And which said Ethiopia. There's a massacre in Ethiopia. Ethiopian soldiers are killing people. They're killing civilians. There's a new video of it too. New video of Ethiopian massacre shows soldiers passing fire around as they documented the execution of unarmed men. Yeah.
All right, Jamie, pull it up.
1 second. Here, I'll send it to you. All right, Jamie, I pulled it up.
Perfect.
Yeah, it gets gruesome. They're going to be charged for war crimes. The few scattered human bones lay on rocky ground, along with some broken skulls and several half-burned ID cards. That's all villagers could find 6 months after Ethiopian troops rounded up their loved ones and shot in point-blank range, throwing the bodies off a rocky hillside deep in the mountains off central Tigray in Ethiopia.
Extrajudicial executions of unarmed men.
Yep.
We must warn you that the video you're about to watch is very disturbing. Oh, these are my favorite.
CNN was sent gruesome footage of the March this year by pro-Tigray media organization Tigray Media House. TMH told CNN that at the time the video was filmed by a mobile phone by one of the Ethiopian army soldiers turned whistleblower involved in the mass killing. An additional longer video clip was the massacre has now been shown on CNN by TMH, revealing new details of the atrocities and shoulders behind it. CNN used geolocation techniques to determine the extended footage was filmed in a ridge near Mohammed Dingo. The voice at the end of the clip identified as Ethiopian soldier filming the video as Fafi. He has revealed his military brigade in division. The extended video showed by CNN.
Yeah, they're showing in the video. They're showing his fucking like this guy's name tag and the insignia, the emblems on their uniforms. It's like it's 100% them. Like. Oh, and their army is distinct from the local language, and you can hear them talking on the video. Oh, okay. It looks like 14.006086 by 38.800340 is the coordinates. Oh shit! But I cut out again. Fuck.
No, you're good. I hear you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see it. I'm watching the video now. Why don't you get
Me
close?
too. Wow, they went and drew a line on the mountain range in the background of the video and verified it with like geographic fucking maps and shit. Like the rock type. They did all the science to figure out exactly where this shit happened. It's crazy.
Oh God! Look at it! Oh God! Oh my God! Oh my
I'm at
God!
the part.
Oh my God!
The part where it shows the yellow The yellow bodies.
I see that. I see the bodies. I see them throwing the bodies off the cliff. Jesus.
Why don't you get close? He says, and film the execution of these. Do I finally get to watch it?
CNN previously compiled extensive eyewitness testimony that Ethiopian soldiers and soldiers from neighboring Eritrea were perpetrating massacres, extrajudicial killings, sexual violence, and other abuses in the region. Since January, families and the victims of the Mahimri Dingo say they have been unable to access the ridge due to the continued presence of the Ethiopian troops in the area, leaving them without a way to bury their loved ones. Oh, that sucks. But last Friday, the soldiers departed for nearby Axiom, giving locals a long-awaited opportunity to search for any remains. Over a period of days, family members of the victims filmed church burials, documented evidence of bullet casings and massacre sites, and took photographs of skeletal remains and sent to CNN. Wow.
Yeah, they are not fucking around. They are pissed about something. Shit. It'd be funny if all if the civilians, if they were just like a criminal drug ring or some bullshit, or a secret resistance, who knows? Or they're just fucking random bullshit people that they're like, hey, let's go murder some people today, and the sergeant was like, yeah. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm trying to read through it, see if I get any idea who they're soldiers from Ethiopia and Eritrea. Damn.
Just straight soldiers, yeah.
Motherfucker.
Who they might be following orders, maybe not. I don't know. That's some good journalism though. For real, like they did the fucking research to figure out what the fuck went down.
And where this is all from CNN News, of course. So CNN.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, well, I don't know if they were the only ones that did like the research, and I don't know, maybe. But either way, it's fucking good journalism. It's good detective work.
Shit.
Yeah.
North Korea.
It's dangerous too.
North Korea, Kim berates officials
Best
for
Korea. You mispronounced Best Korea.
North Korea's Kim
God damn it.
berates officials for grave coronavirus lapse. So
North Korea wins Best Korea by North Korea Magazine for every year running.
Seoul, South Korea. That's from this reports from. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un berated senior ruling party and government officials for their failures in the fight against the coronavirus, which created a huge crisis for the country. A state media reported alleged grave incident in Korea and North Korea's pandemic fight was not specified in the report Wednesday from North officials. Because we don't ever know what happens up there. They don't say anything.
Bro,
they're so in the dark.
My favorite North Korea coronavirus thing was the the thing that said the date and how many cases it was. It was like April 19th. North Korea coronavirus cases 0. April 20th 1. April 21st 0. April 22nd 1. April 23rd 0.
Yeah, North Korea has claimed to have no cases of the coronavirus infection throughout the pandemic, despite testing thousands of people and sharing a porous border with ally and economic lifeline China, which of course the first COVID cases were confirmed in late 2019. KCNA said Kim had made comments during a Politburo meeting of the ruling Workers' Party that he called to discuss the antivirus failures. It said that Kim criticized senior officials for supposed incompetence, irresponsibility, and passiveness in planning and executing antivirus measures amid the lengthening pandemic. In neglecting important decisions by the party that called for organizational, material, and science and technological measures to support prolonged anti-epidemic work in the face of global health crisis, the officials in charge have caused a great incident that created a huge crisis for the safety of the country and its people, said the KCNA, paraphrasing what Kim said. Kim during a political conference earlier this month, called for officials to brace prolonged COVID-19 restrictions, indicating that the country isn't ready to open up its borders anytime soon, despite its economic woes. The North's extended border control comes amid uncertainties over the country's vaccination prospects. COVAX, a UN-backed program to ship COVID vaccines worldwide, said February that the North could receive 1.9 million doses in the first half of the year, but the plans have been delayed due to global shortages. This is according to Politico.com.
Oh shit! I have a bowl left. I have a bowl left.
I really need to have the. I really need to have these like sound bits ready to go when you say shit like that.
Was that a Transformers orgasm?
Yes. Okay, excellent. So,
hold on. Do I have one of those door things? I don't think we have. Oh, there's one in the bathroom in there.
Okay. On the next step, we should let's go talk about Loki.
Okay.
In this week's review of Loki, there was a lot of shit that went down in the third episode, and still at the same time left us with a lot of questions, considering that it was a shorter episode. We start off at episode 3 this week. We've watched episode 1 and episode 2 that we've talked about in the last 2 podcasts. And at the beginning, it just starts off right where we left off. Loki running through the time door that she made. And funny enough, the time door is back in the TVA. So you see girl Loki pop back out of TVA and like, oh, she's ready to go. She has a mission. As you see the other TVA agents running out the time doors as they're going apeshit because of the Universal War, right? And then you see other Loki, boy Loki, pop out. He's like, oh, fuck! Why am I back? Where am I back here again? And then you think about it. Oh,
yeah, I bet he's so fucking disappointed. He's like, God damn it, son of a bitch.
But as he's about to go chase female Loki, he remembers, oh, this is the locker room, and he's able to get back his knives. So he gets back his knives.
His sexy daggers.
Yes, his sexy daggers.
Very sexy dagger.
Before we see him walk up to female Loki, we see female Loki just beat the shit out of some TV agents that decided to try to stop her.
After she realizes that she cannot use her, she tries to take over one of the guards' minds, but realizes, oh shit, I can't use my magic here. So apparently she didn't know that magic didn't work in the TVA until she showed up.
Exactly. So anytime she was in the TV before that, she didn't know how to use magic or never tried. She tried to take over some dude's mind and it didn't work, so you ended up having to beat the shit out of everybody. She got one of the little race wands and erase the motherfuckers or whatever they do. Whatever that race wand is, you see like 2 of them vaporize. And then as she gets to the door, you see Loki come up like, haha. Now, question. Are you sure you're Loki? Like, don't call me that. Like, you're in my way. And you're like, you are my way. And they start fighting. They start dancing. They start jousting, having a grand old time. And then you see the other TVA agents arrive and like, stop right there. As they're like in the middle of their little ballet, and right as they're about to get shot up by the TVA agents, regular Loki is able to grab the time pad. He gets a time pad and sends him off somewhere, and they just drop to the ground. You see him drop into like a little bed area. It's like purple and look a very like purple ambient. And then they start fighting over the temp pad because it landed away from them. And you just hear the girl looking, get off my leg! And then boy Loki is... girl Loki actually gets it. Girl Loki is able to get the temp pad there. It's like, haha! Joke's on you. And as she's about to leave, she clicks it and it's out of power. Like, motherfucker. Like, we need to charge the temp pad. And I guess Loki... It starts showing off his magic here because he hasn't been able to use magic as of recent. He's able to teleport behind her, knock her down, and he gets a temp pad from her. And as she tries to snatch it back from him, he does a little magic trick and this makes it disappear. And they go, and like, where is it at now? You don't know where it's at. I guess he made it invisible or something. Give me the temp pad. Like, no, I will kill you. Yeah. Then as soon as they start fighting again, one of the little meteors punches through the room they're in. And like, please tell me that's one of your powers. No, it turns out, where'd you take us? They go outside and the screen says they're on Lamentus 1, 2050 something. They took them apparently to Lamentus 1. It's like, you idiot, this is Lamentus 1. Of all the apocalypse you could have chose, this is the worst. What happens to Lamentus 1? Everyone dies. The moon above you crashes. Fuck, what are we going to do? We need to get off the planet. So they try to scramble to get off the planet. So they decide we need to recharge the temp pad somehow. And they start running. At one point, like, one of the little meteors is about to hit Girl Loki. And Boy Loki just snatches her out of the way. It's like, I didn't need your help. And you hear this, and you hear Boy Loki's like, you're so weird. And they run into this other little like cubicle box, kind of I guess transport room, and they're trying to hide from these meteorites. And they start about to fight again. And like, are we really about to do this again? Like, what do you suggest we do? I suggest a truce. I need. She's like, well, you only saved me because you need me to recharge the temp pad. Like, that's true. But you're not the only tech savvy Loki around here. I'm like, don't call me that. What, tech savvy? No, a Loki. And he like looked at her weird. That was from earlier, but I was like, okay. I'm like, well, who are you? Well, my name's Sylvie. I go by, oh, Sylvie. It's called Alias. You never used it before? And like, I can change my name. I'm like, okay. And they start arguing back and forth, and they find some way to charge it. And if there's got to be somewhere around this planet to charge it, so they go out, they start walking around. They find a light. He bullshits that they could charge it, but no, they really can't. There, like, don't give me that shit. We need to find something that would actually charge, like some real power. They go up to this old lady. The old lady bit was funny. Lady Loki comes up and like, let me just open the door. Just open the door to some random barnyard, and she walks up and she gets blasted out with some weird like big sonic gun, boom, and she was flying back like, it's that was funny, and like, oh, I'm sorry about my friend there. I'm surprised you made it this far without me. Like, I'm sorry about her diplomacy. We're just weird travelers. He starts talking to this girl before seeing her. Then he looks in the mirror and he sees like a picture of this lady and her husband. So Loki decides uses magic to make himself look like the husband. And he's like, hello, lady. It's so nice to see you. You're so beautiful. And then she blasts him too. And like, so how's the diplomacy going? Like, shut up. Lady Loki looks over at Loki. Now they're over there together. He's got blasted too. Like, so how was that for diplomacy? Like, shut up. And like, he never said anything like that nice in 25 years. Now, what do you devils want from me? Yeah. Like, we just need for all the people at. Like, for the people at, they're at the Ark. And they look at her confused. The evacuation vessel. It sounds so redneck and hick as she says that. I'm like, oh. And she's like, something like that should be able to.
It does live in a trailer.
True. This is a mining planet, so it's not to be unexpected. Something like that should be able to recharge the time pad. So now they're making a mission to go try to find this Ark. Like, where is this Ark? Like, it's how do we get to this Ark? The train will take you there, but you're never gonna get tickets on it. Like, well, shit, we have to get on this train. So they start walking over to the train to make it to the train. Loki says, I got a plan. And he decides to look over. And he looks at one of the guards. And he uses magic to make himself look like one of the guards. So he copies the whole swag and everything. And the stupid helmet, too. But he doesn't put it down.
Just the clothes.
Basically, he doesn't put it down though. So he pretends to escort Lady Loki past everybody. I got a message to for this passenger's approval this morning, and like I didn't get a ticket. And as one of the guards was about to fuss up, she uses some enchanting power to get in his head, and like, oh yeah, I got the notice for them earlier today. Like, go ahead, it's fine. So they're able to get on board with a combination of Loki and Lady Loki's enchanting power, which might be an homage to the Enchantress, who is also named Sylvie. In the comics, Sylvie was a random girl who lived near the new Asgard in Oklahoma, and he decided to give her Loki's powers. Loki decided to give this random girl his powers and make her believe she was an Asgardian, and make her believe she was Loki.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Right? That's where Sylvie comes. That's where the Sylvie name comes from the comics. So maybe that's what may be happening here. We don't know. We don't know yet. As they try to, as they're on the train, they start talking about their childhoods and how they don't trust each other. Like, oh, obviously a magician. Like, yeah, my mom showed me my magic. Oh, well, how was she? She was a very good lady, a queen. Like, how was yours? Like, I don't remember her. Just blips of a memory at this point. Like, they start talking back and forth. Like, yeah, I was adopted. Oops, is that a bit of a spoiler for you? They're like, no, actually, they told me I was adopted. Like, they did. What? They never told me. Well, I mean, they did eventually, but just recently. Wow. And like, so they start talking about the childhood and just random other things. Little bits of here or there. He shows off a little magic, and he like, oh, do you have any lovers? Like, and she jokes around like, oh yeah, I have this one guy. It's a really long distance relationship over all the time in space. He's waiting for me. And she jokes and like, no, there's nothing there. And I was like, what about you? There's got to be a little prince, a little princess, or a prince maybe, perhaps. And he jokes like, yeah, a little bit of both, but nothing ever really serious, right? Love is mischief. Love is pain. And they keep going on and on about what is love, and I'm surprised when they didn't say, baby, don't hurt me, no more. But he did a little fucking shit with, like, he said love is pain, and he got like a quill and like a parchment out of thin air. It's like, say that again. Love is what? Like, oh, fuck off. And they just keep talking back and forth, and eventually, I guess she falls asleep, and Loki. The bartender comes up with a champagne, like yes, and like, no thanks, I'll take hers though. And he takes both of them, and he double fists both of them, and eventually she falls asleep, and he's like singing with the rest of the. Turns out he's just singing with the rest of the train. Some Asgardian tune. Something like that. And she recognizes it or something like that. It looks like she recognizes it, but he's just singing it, and he's just really drunk, and everybody else is drunk. And she comes out, hey, what are you doing? Where's your uniform? What the fuck? Why are you in your like variant? Your other variant clothing. You weren't you a guard, idiot? And like, oh, but you have to try. And then Loki starts talking, but you can tell he's actually kind of drunk. Like, she goes up to him, you're drunk. Like, no, I'm full. I'm bad mind. I'm very full. But you got to try this. It goes really well with the figure port. Who has the figure port? Never mind that. You have to trust me on the figure port.
Hilarious.
You have to trust me on the figure port. And then he knocks it off, and then like that's whenever the guards come in looking for it, and he has tickets, please. Oh yes, tickets. They're right here. He puts his hand up, and his fireworks start popping up. Like, oh, that's not right. And then he turns around, and they start trying to arrest him. And then he's like, hey, and he puts his hand on it, he starts beating the fuck out of them, like drunken master style, just they dodging, evading, but just flipping him over. And then of course Lady looks like fuck. Okay, she has to fight with him too, and starts like chopping the motherfuckers. It was actually really funny. You see Loki just start using his powers drunk, and then eventually he knocks a dude out the glass, and is like bye. And then the other guys see him, and then they throw him out that glass, out that train, and they throw him out the train. Like, fuck. And then Lady Loki says, the time pad. She grabs her knife that was stuck in the table and jumps at the time pad. Eagle Eye viewers will notice that on that right as before she jumps out her time at the train, she takes her knife out her table. There's like a clear cut scene that shows the knife stuck in the table, and there's like Asgardian text on the knife, on the blade, on this long blade of hers. So anybody who knows Asgardian might decipher that and give us a clear, maybe a hint of who she is. I'm not taking time.
It's gonna be Loki.
Probably. I'm not taking time to go decipher it, but you guys might do it. So they jump after Loki, and he's like, the time pad, where the fuck is it? Like, fine. And he shows it to her, and he fucking pulls it out, and it's fucking broken. Like, I did take a hell of a fall. And you bastard! You son of a bitch! You got drunk, and you got drunk at expensive mission, you fucking idiot. Like, no, I'm just a hedonist. No, I'm a hedonist. You're a fucking idiot. You're a clown. I'm more of a hedonist than you are. And then, like, what are you gonna do? We're not gonna win. Like, against what your little planet against the timekeepers, you're not gonna win. And then she looks at him really angry, and she starts walking away, and then she yells really loud, ah! And like her green energy explodes, and she yells really loud, and like makes a dramatic scene, and she just walks off. And he sits down like, does yelling make you feel better? Like, yeah, a little bit. So what happens here? Like, he's like, well, everybody leaves, everybody dies, the moon's about to crash on us, we're all about to die, and the only thing we had left to get out was a time pad, and I destroyed. Like, what about the Ark? It doesn't get off, it gets destroyed. Well, they didn't have us on it before. Like, what, do you suggest that we go hijack the Ark and make sure it gets off on time? I mean, yeah. And so they start doing that, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's do it!" Dun 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 dun. And they start montaging, and they just do like an epic. Exactly. Epic montage to like the city, and then they start saying like, "Hey, we need to get in. Like, how are we gonna get around through that? We're gonna go around." And they start going through the city, and they start beating at people. Loki and her like using their powers. He's blasting people and knocking people over and throwing them over, and then like shit's collapsing around. This is a great display of Loki's powers too, by the way. He has like at one point he's dodging around, and then like the best scene was whenever they're fighting through the rubble, when the tower is about to land on them, and he stops it with some magic. He's like, just like looks at it, and it stops, and then he sends it flying back the way it came, and he just turns around and it keeps going. And
that looked like it was controlling time.
I would say he was controlling magic. Probably magic. And they keep running. They say they're almost there. We're almost made it. And right as they're about to get there, the ship gets destroyed. Something hits it, and it just fucking explodes. And then everybody's face just stops, and everybody just stops in the tracks. They're in shock, and Loki just looks at it, and it turns around and just starts walking, just slowly, like in defeat. And they have this great song just playing that is a great example of the defeat, and it just exits out the episode, and that was the end of that episode. So they're kind of stuck there until someone pulls them out, or something pulls them out, some Deus Ex Machina or some shit.
It's gonna be the what's his face?
Oh, Wilson. He just come by and say, "Wow, wow,
wow." You actually did it. Wow. Actually screwed up the timeline. Wow.
Wow. But sugar milk, but milk.
Gotta
Yes.
What?
What do you say, Butcher and Monk?
How feel it?
What?
before we-
You're cutting out. You're cutting in and out.
Quite badly.
You there? Okay, he was cutting in and out. You're back.
I had to hop off Wi-Fi.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was a little far. I'm in the backyard by the gate.
What were you saying?
But yeah, I have a question. What is how can we get high as possible? Like so high we can actually feel it. Like before we watch this Loki.
I suggest that you go tie your nuts in the. No, don't tie your nuts in not people. It's a bad idea.
No, I mean, how to consume? Like, okay, so I have some keef. I want to use some keef. That'll be a start. Do you have any suggestions?
I'll tell you after the show.
Why not during? Can we just have a pot segment?
Because I don't know what I want to do yet. I was just like,
Oh, okay. right. You'll get back to me. Okay.
So the last bit, I guess, is just the becoming the warrior. You actually watched part of this episode. How this guy we were talking. This is about the douchebag. This is a Dark Side of the Ring episode of I think 5 or 6 of this season.
The talentless one.
Yes, the talentless one.
Yes.
The one that was like, "I'm back, bitches," and then just dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Becoming the ultimate warrior. So in this episode, Dark Side of the Ring, titled "Becoming the Warrior," it's all about Jim Hellwig, also known as the Ultimate Warrior, during his time in WWF. It starts off with Eric Bischoff.
Warrior.
It starts off with Eric Bischoff going like, if you take a bolt of electricity and you turn it somehow morphed it into like a cartoon character, that was him. Cornette said, exactly. Cornette said very few people made it that far to the top as with that little talent as Warrior did. The whole episode starts off with his wife basically explaining his Warrior's insecurities. By the way, I'm referring to him as Warrior this whole time because he legally did change his name to Warrior. He was born Jim Hellwig. And sometimes they'll say Jim in here to refer to that, but he changed the name to Warrior later. I'll cover that later in the episode. Later down the list. He was a bodybuilder when he met up with his ex-wife Stacy. He was also a bouncer at a bar. He was and they moved to LA because he wanted to become a bodybuilder and focus on that. This is actually where he meets Sting in LA. Sting was able to convince him, let's go try to be wrestlers, because someone said, hey, Sting want to become a wrestler, so they try to make Sting a wrestler, but Sting said, well, let me see if my friend wants to join, and that's how Warrior joined along. They ended up going to Memphis. Jerry Jarrett over in Memphis was able to book him. He was known to book up and coming talent and weird talent. People give people some shots. Jim Cornette pops by here and explains that when they showed up, they were basically the shits. Jerry sends them to the Mid-South, and that's where he started working on the Warrior gimmick. They show up in Mid-South in the UWF as the Blade Runners, him and Sting. Jim Ross explains that the Warrior was basically the worst talent on the fucking roster. He couldn't take direction from anybody, and he couldn't take, especially any experienced guy. But he got kicked out of UWF too. But David Manning saw something in him that he could use. David Manning was in charge of World Class Championship Wrestling, WCCW. People actually liked WCCW because it was a really nice syndicated program. This is where he got his first push as a Dingo Warrior. Everybody's asking what the
fucking Warrior.
The Dingo Warrior, yeah. What the fuck is a Dingo Warrior? I thought he'd be Australian, but no. But then Jerry started commenting that he was kind of an asshole. The more matches he won, the more fans cheered. But the more fans cheered, the more his ego grew. And the more his ego grew, the harder he became to work with. His mentality was, he's got the best body. He should beat everybody. Why should it take time to learn this stuff? Because I don't care about it. I just want to be a TV star. Jim Cornette said that about him. And the only place you could really have that kind of mentality and succeed in wrestling in that time was the WWF.
Of course.
Because the WWE, Vince McMahon Jr. had just taken over the promotion. Vince McMahon loved the sizzle, not the steak. Basically, he liked to sell the sizzle, and he didn't really care so much about the steak. And that's when June 5th in 1987, he got the letter to join the WWF. He joined as Dingo Warrior, but soon changes to Ultimate Warrior. Basically, they're like, we want to do Warrior, but we don't want to do the Dingo Warrior stuff. Let's change it to Ultimate Warrior. It's here where his parts unknown rhetoric and his weird promo started to evolve. His accentuated promos start to emerge. You never knew what he was saying. His promos were literally incomprehensible. You could never comprehend what the fool was saying. It was here where he gets his big push to the top. He starts to get his big push to the top, but he was kind of an asshole. Nobody liked him at all. He broke Bobby Heenan's neck after everybody knew that Bobby Heenan had a sensitive neck. Bobby the Brain Heenan. I miscalled him last time. Brian Heenan. It's Bobby the Brain Heenan. Correction, guys. I sound like an idiot. I'm a big wrestling fan, and I called Bobby the Brain Heenan Brian Heenan a couple episodes ago. But Bobby the Brain Heenan, he's had neck issues his entire time after like 86. But he broke his neck again. There's an unspoken rule. You got to protect your opponent in the ring, and he didn't really give a shit. He was very dickish to everybody. His ex-wife defended him a lot, though. Like, that's something I want to say. I wrote that down. His ex-wife defended him a lot in the series.
It did seem like they really, really, really loved each other.
They broke up, though. He was cheating on her. Remember? WrestleMania 6, where he beats Hulk Hogan for the WWF title. It was a title match because he was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, and he beats Hulk Hogan for the World Heavyweight Champion. It's the first real loss for Hulk Hogan during that whole 10-year run in WWF. He didn't put anybody over cleanly. He didn't pull anybody over decisively. Like the 1, 2, 3, he Ultimate Warrior was one of the only people who Hogan put over. Like passing the torch over for Warrior. Hogan needed time off anyways, so Vince McMahon said, I think Ultimate Warrior is ready. But so it starts the descent of the craziness that was Ultimate Warrior. His wife says that night Jim Hellwig left and the Ultimate Warrior came back home. She never saw Jim Hellwig again for a while. He also found out that she was cheating on her.
Damn, that's deep.
Apparently, Jake the Snake Roberts was going to get a WWF Championship run with Warrior, but Vince McMahon said he had to go ask Warrior, and Jake's like,
ask Warrior.
Yeah, it's like Jake's like, what the fuck? You're the boss man. You're supposed to tell him it's just how we have to do things here, Jim. Jake, I need you to go do it. I'm sorry. And then Jake has to go ask the Warrior to work with him. Warrior's just a straight up dick, like comes up to him like, hey, listen here. I don't like this shit. I don't like wrestling. I don't like any of this. If you miss any of these shows, I'm gonna fucking hurt the shit out of you. I'm gonna kill you. Don't fucking miss any shows. If you miss any show, that's my money you're fucking with. Yada 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 yada. And Warrior's just like up all in Jake's face, and Jake's like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" It was literally right after that he whenever the Warrior decides to do his little letter. He decides to hold up to WWF for a ransom. Remember, he's like,
strongly worded letter to Vince McMahon.
A really strongly worded letter. He said that if he didn't have the same creative and the creative privileges and pay as Hulk Hogan, he didn't get treated the same way as Hulk Hogan, he would hold up the show. He would hold up them for shows. He would no show shows. He had the championship belt still on him, and it was a threat. Vince temporarily accepts Warrior's demands because he has one mantra. He always needs to get an advertised show on the road. So if he advertises a show, if he needs to get a show on, he advertises a show, he needs to get that show on. So what he did is he got Warrior to come in for the show, do that show. He said he was the last one he was going to do that he had advertised. He gets him to do the show, and Rising comes back in to the locker room and like, hey, by the way, you're fired. Get the fuck out of my building.
The most Vince McMahon thing ever.
Yeah, get the fuck out of my building, and just fires him right then and there. And Jake happens to be right next to him, and he looks at Jake like, you're the one of the most unlucky son of bitches I've ever met. Because now Jake's push isn't going to work properly. He goes home after that, and he starts a whole big legal battle with WWF. He legally changes the name to Warrior there, because he wanted to somehow trying to keep some part of that character he had, because WWF owned the Ultimate Warrior, the name. So he changed his name. He didn't change his name to Jim the Warrior Hellwig or Warrior Hellwig. He just changed his name to Warrior, like a fucking idiot. But he returns to WWF in 1996 when WCW was trying to get a rise. Vince McMahon thought, like, let's go try one more time to get him to work with us. We might be able to get some material out of this. We need some push. We need some stars. So they go over there. Jim Cornette, Jim Ross, and Bruce Pritchard join Vince McMahon, and they go over to his house in, like, I think New Mexico, and it's there where like they sit down with him, and Cornette's talking like, this is like the stupidest 30 minutes I've ever spent. Jim Ross like, that's the waste of my time. I can never get time back. They're talking about how stupid word distrucity. Some word he came up to signify this destiny and energy and something like that. I don't know, distrucity, and it was so stupid. He returned to WWF at WrestleMania 12 versus Triple H, then known as Hunter Hearst Helmsley, in his royal kind of like mantra kind of gimmick he had at the time. He no-sold all of Triple H's moves. He took a pedigree and just got them right back up, beat him up, and like finished that match in like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It was over. He just beat Triple H over. But during this whole little run there in '96, they noticed he wasn't moving any merchandise. People weren't really like rooting for him. They weren't cheering for him. They weren't going to get anything out. So Vince decided to just cut his losses and just fire him again. Fuck it. Get out of here again. Get out of here. They answered a very important question. If they're going to really touch on a really disastrous part of his life. And they're right. They decided to avoid it. They just skipped over WCW completely. They didn't mention his time in WCW at all. During his time in WCW was hilarious. He like had some kind of shtick where like Hulk Hogan looked in the mirror and he sees Warrior, but he's Warrior in the mirror, but Warrior's not behind him. It was stupid. It was fucking stupid. It was during his time, after his time in WWF, he still tries to venture out and do things. He starts becoming a what's it called? A motivational speaker, or at least he tries to become a motivational speaker. But he's basically a conservative, racist motivational speaker. Instead of being like someone to motivate young people, he's just out there spewing his hate shit, his hateful bullshit. Like there's stuff I don't even want to repeat, but he was just fucking. He was just like he said, what things queering doesn't make the world work.
Right.
He calls these Afro-American kids rhesus monkeys in one quote. In the full quote, I don't want to read it all. Would talk shit about other wrestlers too, that especially ones that helped him, like Hulk Hogan. And he just went on for like 10, 20 years just trying to still like have some fame. So he like probably didn't do much besides that. Get like paid interviews, paid talking gigs around for the last 10 years. The quotes were from like 2011, 2010. They're kind of rough. After a long time though, in 2014, he was brought back and via surprise too. No one knew he was coming back to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Funny enough, Jake the Snake Roberts was waiting for him in the back with a roll of quarters in his hand and his knuckle, ready to knock him out. But as soon as like he sees him, he's like, "No, wait! Before you do anything, I'm sorry. I need just relax. I'm sorry. I apologize for you and your family. I was really stupid back then. I really do apologize. It was my bad." And he's like, he tried to make him with a shake, and Jake accepts like, fine. He was, but Jake was ready to knock his teeth out with a roll of quarters. Jake the Snake Roberts, good old Jake the Snake Roberts. The next night after the Hall of Fame induction in WrestleMania, he comes out for a promo to close out Raw. He does this weird promo. Everybody's like talking about every man's heartbeat takes the last beat. Every man's lungs take one last breath. Some weird shit like that. Like we are all the warrior will live on forever. And not 12 hours later, after that Raw segment, he gets in his car at some point, and he has a heart attack and dies. It's for somebody to try to start to come back and try to maybe possibly rebuild his career. He just dies right there and then. It's actually kind of sad. But the shit writes itself. You can't write that kind of stuff. But
Sucks for him.
Warrior did influence a lot of people. There are a lot of people that are in the wrestling business now that do basically what Ultimate Warrior does, like big over the top moves, eccentric posing, and like the shaking of the ring, the non-coherent promos. He had an impact on the whole wrestling business, for good or bad.
Give or take.
Damn, we taking notes really helped me cut through. I do that for all the new Dark Side of Rings. It just really helped me cut through that thing, because last week it took forever going through. We didn't do the two-parter last week, right? No, we didn't do the two-parter last week. We just did.
No, we did the. Did we do a two-parter last week?
No. Was it Brian Pillman? No. It might have been
Brian Pillman.
It was Brian Pillman. You're right. Because we did Grizzly Smith the first one, and then no wonder it took forever the last one. So yeah, I took notes on this one, and we got through that Dark Side of the Ring review much faster. Next week, I think let's do Dynamite Kid.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Dynamite Kid. We still have or should we check out Collision in Korea? Because Dynamite Kid is the last one technically.
Yeah, we'll do the last one officially last.
So do we have Collision in Korea? And the Ultra Violence Nick Gage. But do you want to check out the Ultra Violence Nick Gage? It's like shitty. It's like shitty trash wrestling. We'll look into it. We'll watch the episode separately, and we'll talk about see if you want to actually watch it or not. If we can skip it if we don't like it.
We can include it in one of the other episodes.
Well, yeah, because we'll do
Fly by it.
It's flyby, yeah. You know what's one I really want to do later, because I watched it right now. When we go back to the first couple seasons, we need to talk about New Jack, the Life and Crimes of New Jack. Dusty cracked the fuck up on that one. It was great. He was watching it with me. New Jack was like, I don't give a fuck about these white folk, some shit like that. That was great. Well, with that, let's see. I need to. Call it a night. We'll call it a podcast there. That was us shutting down the engines. We'll be here next week again to talk about even more news, even more shows. Do we want to talk on Rick and Morty before we close the episode, actually? Because the new Rick and Morty came out again. New Rick and Morty season's out.
Oh, fuck. I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched any of it? Oh, man, you have to watch. Okay.
No.
You haven't watched any of the 2 Rick and Morty episodes?
No, I haven't yet. I know they're recorded in my TV, but I haven't watched them.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about them next week. If you want to catch up on those, we can talk on the 3rd episode, too. We talk about all 3 of them like at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I'll catch up.
All right, cool. Well, I guess that's it for us. I'm your boy Josie, Raging Games, signing off. Mavs, Lucky Nez. Want to do any plugs? Want to tell anybody any news? Anywhere to find us?
Pretty much for me, luckiness everywhere. Dude's Game on Twitter, I believe. Something like that. And that's about it.
Yeah, find us on Dude's Game. Dude's Game on Twitter. We'll be giving updates. We'll be taking polls. We'll be asking y'all your opinions. If you guys want to hear anything in particular, any feedback on any news topics, any funny subjects you want us to cover, we're open to anything. But yeah, what was it? Last thing we said in the last couple of episodes, like, we're desperate for human contact. But until next week, we'll catch you on the next one. Tally ho, guys.
Peace.